This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14, is that as you can see the screen, all right, them JJs are just creating more enemies and more problems in the so-called Middle East, okay, or West Asia, all right? And this goes to show you that World War III is not going away. It's just getting bigger, all right? And more people are getting involved, all right? You know, them JJs done attacked, all right, a sovereign country, all right? Like blatantly violating, all right, international law. You know, you even have the Secretary General of the United Nations, you know, Gutierrez saying it was a flagrant violation, okay, of someone's sovereignty. Yeah, you know, all because you want to get these Hamas leaders, which the reason why the Hamas leaders are there is because Qatar is trying to broker a deal along with Egypt and America, all right, regarding the whole Gaza situation. But them JJs don't give a damn. All right, they're trying to kill these Hamas leaders. So, all right, this World War III is getting bigger, and this is all set up through the spirit power Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, so that prophecy can be fulfilled. All right, That's why you got to have the vision. All right, you got to see that this is all leading, all right, to nuclear Armageddon. All right, and the destruction of them JJs, all right, in our land, and of course America, Babylon the Great. Okay, and that's why you have to have the vision. All right, if you don't have the vision, all right, you're going to perish, as it says in Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18, where there is no vision, the people perish. Right. All right, if you can't see, all right, that this is all leading, all right, to the destruction of them JJs and America, Babylon the Great. You can't, okay, you can't, you don't have the vision. You can't see the prophecies. All right, so you're going to perish. All right, because this is all prophetic, man. All right. You know, them JJs are now violating another nation's sovereignty. All right. Nasty work, but it's all done so that prophecy can be fulfilled. All right. So Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Right. And when you go into the Hebrew word of law, all right, it means the Hebrew word is tha-wa-ra, okay, which means the directions or instructions. In fact, I'll get it, you know. Repetition is the art of remembrance. See, the Hebrew word is tha-wa-ra, okay. Another way of, you know, that's where you get the word Torah, right? And it means law, direction, and instruction, right? And you're supposed to be keeping the law, direction, instructions of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right? And so that you could be happy, because by seeing this, you're like, oh yeah, man, this World War III is getting spicy. It's getting bigger. It's expanding, all right? Because Qatar, look what Qatar said. All right, this is from the United Nations, by the way. This, all right, this is the United Nations website, okay? Qatar said this. Qatar said, the Qatar government condemned the attack as a blatant violation of international law. And the Qatari Prime Minister said at a press conference that there must be a response from the entire region to such barbaric actions, right? Okay? And then again, the Secretary General, the UN Secretary General, Antonio Gutierrez said it was a flagrant violation of Qatari sovereignty and territorial integrity. Right? You attacked, all right, another nation, all right, land, all right. These missiles hit a building in Doha, all right, putting all right, people's lives at risk. Okay, so yeah, man, and that's why it makes sense why the Lord said in Exodus chapter 17, verse 16, for he said, because the Lord have sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation and generation, right? Because the Lord is making sure that these Amalekites, all right, have to constantly stay in war, stay in conflict, all right? And ultimately, they're going to end up being destroyed, all right? Because something's going to happen where Russia's going to get involved. That's what we're watching. We're watching Mother Russia, which is Gog, according to Ezekiel 38, all right? They're going to spearhead the assault on them JJs, all right? But you can clearly see the buildup, all right? A lot of people getting pissed off. I mean, look what them JJs did to these activists from the. They were on this flotilla, which I believe the word for this word means like several boats, and they're basically these activists are just trying to get to the Gaza so they can provide humanitarian aid, and it's coming out that them JJs attacked these flotillas, all right? And these flotillas are manned by mainly Europeans, all right? The flotilla is supported by delegations from 44 countries, including Swedish activist Greta Thunberg, right? Okay? And of course, Portuguese left-wing politician Mariana Mortágua, right? So you even got, all right, these Europeans, all right, being attacked by these JJs, all right, which it's all beautiful because the Europeans are Edomites, just like these JJs are Edomites. So, well, they're Amalekites, but they're the descendants of Esau, Edom, right? The JJs. So what you're clearly seeing is a house divided. Satan's house is divided. All right, that's how you know this. All right, this man's kingdom's at his end. All right, and what it's doing, it's like the scriptures say in Jeremiah 49, and we always bring this out here at Great Millstone. Jeremiah 49, verse 20. And that's the thing, these plantation Christians don't know what the hell is going on. All right, that's why, like the apostle elders always say, you drown them with prophecy. Okay, you drown them with prophecy. You drown them with scriptures like this because they don't know how to break this down. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he have taken against Edom, right? And when you go into that word counsel, it means his purpose, his advice. In fact, we'll get it real quickly just to go into that word. All right. It's Itaza. This is an I, this is a Taza. Itaza, which means counsel, advice, purpose. See? Okay? Plan. Right. So this is the Lord's counsel. This is his purpose, his plan. This is advice. Okay? Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Right. And the least of the flock is talking about these JJs, these 1948, these small hats, these Amalekites, who the Lord said, once again, he will have war with them from generation to generation. And what's so spiritual about when you go into the word least, okay? All right, it's Taza Ayar, all right, 1948. Little, insignificant, all right, because they are insignificant, okay? And youngest, right, because they were the last Edomite nation to be established, all right? Them 1948, them small hats, okay? So, yeah, and so 1948. So, yeah, it's all spiritual, man, all right? And the Lord is using them to make sure World War III, all right, goes nuclear. And you clearly see it. This is staring up a hornet's nest. This is Yapa. This is beautiful stuff. And of course a flotilla, which is manned by mainly Europeans. It's nasty work, but it's going down. Numbers chapter 24, Before I get that, I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy. All right, because we got to build the narrative of why this is all happening. All right, and this proves that them people cannot be the chosen people because they are doing all right with how they're moving is completely opposite to what the children of Israel be experiencing and be behaving in the last days. All right. All right. So Deuteronomy chapter 25 verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt. 18. How he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. Right. Because when we left Egypt, all right, these Amalekites were the first ones to come against us, and they were attacking, all right, the old, the feeble, all right. That goes to show you, man, these devils have don't don't care about the elderly, okay? They don't care about the sick. They don't care about the feeble, and that's why they move the way they move. This proves that they can't be the chosen people, all right. They have no regard for nothing, man. They have no they have no mercy whatsoever. Okay? No mercy. They'll kill anything for sport. It's fun to them. Eight right? 19. Therefore it shall be when the Lord thy power have given thee rest from all thy enemies round about in the land which the Lord thy God hath given thee for inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, and thou shalt not forget it. Right. So eventually the Lord is going to blot out these Amalekites from under heaven, or after they serve 1,000 years in slavery. All right. That's going to be real, okay, pain. All right. Then of course, all right, in a righteous judgment, you'll all be lit up in a bonfire after 1,000 years, pursuing to Obadiah. All right, because you can't get right. You've been unmerciful since your inception. All right, you've always had a hatred, especially towards the children of Israel. So you can't be walking around. You got to be what's it called? Erased, deleted. Okay, because you have no mercy. All right, you are the wicked. All right, because we're gonna have mercy on these heathens. These heathens are going, all right, to have land. All right. All right. Yes, they're going to serve us. Yes, they're going to be pay tribute to us. All right. But again, they'll have land. But you Edomites, all right, you're not, after 1,000 years. All right, you're going to be deleted. All right. Okay. Because the your track record, your wickedness has reached the heaven. Uh, so Numbers chapter 24 verse 18. Edom shall be a possession. Yep. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Right, and it's coming. The Lord's gonna put spiritual powers on his men. All right, and you clearly see it. All right, we're gonna need spiritual powers because these devils are maniacs, man. 19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion. Right, it's talking about Yahushai, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Exactly. Okay, and that's your judgment. All right. So we're clearly seeing that we're coming to the end of this man's kingdom, and he's going down. All right. And the Lord's setting up to take this devil out. All right. He's going to make sure that these nations come against these Edomites, start with Amalek. All right. And then ultimately Yahushai is coming himself. All right. To put these devils out of power and bring them into captivity and slavery. And they're going to work hardcore. They're going to be working hardcore. They're going to be in hardcore bondage, working, okay, every day except for the Sabbath for 1,000 years. And then after that, deleted. All right, and it's right. It's rightfully so, because you Amalekites are just you're out of order, man. you're just just wicked people, you know. So Lord willing, us edifying. Again, just wanted to show you some current events, and this World War III is getting bigger, but it's all leading to the end of this man's kingdom. All right, end of this man's rulership. All right, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning that followeth. Okay, so we're clearly seeing it. We're just waiting for that chip, the RFID chip. So with that, I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Makak, double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep the door, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray for what else? Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles, elders. We're almost out of here. To the futures that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, pray, cover. Shalom.